Hi everyone, Lisa Haven here. Well, Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant is still a problem today. Here we are 7 years later, and the devastations that were caused to our oceans are still happening. In fact, billions of radiation and radioactive material and substance are still being poured into our ocean. And I have detailed on my channel multiple times all the repercussions it's had on the living animals in the Pacific, all the tumors and growths that are happening and the mass animal deaths that are taking place in the Pacific are all going ignored, not only by the Japanese government, but the American government. Now, some of the things that I have to show you today are going to send chills down your spine because here we are 7 years later. People are dying due to some of the radioactive activity. Not only that, but many people are worried about the devastations it's going to have on our ocean. And I've got quite a few reports to show you that were all published March of this year to show you that yes, there's still issues and we cannot just ignore the happenings of Fukushima. Check out this first report, and this one's on Japanese Time, and it's headlined, 7 years on, radioactive water at Fukushima plant still flowing into our ocean, study finds. Now, the report goes on to detail that more than 7 years after March 2011 Fukushima nuclear crisis, the radioactive water is continually flowing into the Pacific Ocean from the crippled first power plant at the rate of around 2 billion becquerels a day, a study has found. Now, the amount of leaking cesium-137 has decreased from some 30 billion becquerels in 2013. That's according to Michio Amane, a professor at the Institute of Environmental Radioactive at Fukushima University, and he said that in his study. Now, here's another report from The Nation, and it's titled, 7 years on, sailors exposed to Fukushima radiation seek their day in court. Now, this one just hurts my heart because our military men have put their butts on the line for the people in Japan, and as a result are dying due to the fumes of Fukushima, and the government say nothing. But the subtitle there reads, Special Investigation. U.S. military personnel are sick and dying and want the nuclear plant's designers and owners to take responsibility. Now, this goes on a little further down in the report to say that the Reagan ship, along with 24 other U.S. Navy vessels, were part of the operation, Japanese, basically the term for friends, which was a $90 million rescue relief program and humanitarian mobilization to help Japan in the immediate aftermath of the earthquake and tsunami that caused Fukushima. It also states they were plastered with fumes from Fukushima when they went in to cause or to help with relief. It details fumes coming over them, smoke coming over them breathing it in. This is our military men, our Navy men, and they were severely impacted. Now, the report even details up to 9 of those people have died because of Fukushima, and those who are still surviving are sick and have issues, and yet the government has done nothing about it, either in America or in Japan, and they're just letting them suffer. No special accommodations or anything thus far, and so they want their day in court, and I'm all for it. And that one's just very near and dear to my heart because 7 years later, yes, the impacts happen. And keep in mind, 20 some odd years later, people are still going to be feeling those effects and experiencing those effects, just like Chernobyl. It's not something that goes away, specifically here with our military personnel that were directly involved. Now, here's another report. This is Pacific Daily News, and this is in regards to Guam, but Guam should worry about contamination from Fukushima. Now, this details that Fukushima continues to contaminate the environment despite the claims of the government, meaning the government says it's not happening when in reality it is. And the Tokyo Electric Power Company that says that repairs have been fully contained, which is a lie. Contaminated water is continuously being dumped into the Pacific Ocean by the millions, what I say billions of gallons. The powerful Hiroshima current picks up that contamination and heads it northward and makes it turn between the 40th and 50th parallel. This force, or the momentum created by the rotating Earth, nudges all that water downward along the Canadian coast until the whirlpool-like Great Pacific Riders drives it towards the Hawaiian Islands, and that heavily contaminates their waters. Fishermen all over the Pacific are discovering anomalies in their catches. These are the tumors. These are the defects in the fish. More and more fish have cancerous growth and are being found in the nets. And it's extremely, extremely alarming. Here's the last report that I want to show you from NHK World. Fukushima food. Regardless of everything you just heard, this Fukushima food is being promoted in Paris. Ouch. Ouch. Now, what that exactly says is exactly right. What's happening is in Paris, they are trying to help out the Japanese farmers by saying their food is safe, their food is good, let's eat this and promote their food, Fukushima food, and not only in Paris, but on a global scale to open up those markets again. That's concerning. So not only are we going to have it affect, some of our fish, but Fukushima food is being pushed in Paris. Big problems here. First, we have our military men dying because of being exposed. Second, we have multiple cases of people dying due to being exposed that aren't being broadcast by any mainstream media. Third, we have fish in the ocean, Guam being impacted, Hawaii being impacted, all along the coastline of California being impacted, and everybody remains quiet about it. And now, fourth, they're pushing Fukushima food as a positive thing to help the farmers. Never mind the fact that when you ingest it, you're ingesting stuff that can harm your body. See, that's beside the point because they have the depopulation agenda. Well, my goal here is to get the latest information to you so you have that and you can do with it what you will, but never ignore the repercussions and don't forget what's going on with Fukushima. That's why I bring it up periodically on my channel. Every once in a while, I'll find updates that I want to get to you. But if you can, and I do this myself, I try to stay away from certain catches from the Pacific, certain fish, certain things that are found in the Pacific for now until that settles down even more. So if you can get your fish from a farm or even the Atlantic, you're better off. That's what I encourage you to do to help with some of that. Anyhow, wanted to bring you the latest on all of that. Don't forget to check out my partner at virtualshield.com/Lisa Haven. Right now, it is 30% off. They've done 20% in the past. Now is probably their biggest one for 30% off. And that won't last. The 20% is done, but they've upped it to 30 for now because things are going crazy. So make sure you have some kind of something where what you're Googling and what you're doing is not traceable. It's nobody's business what you Google, so make sure you get on a VPN. I prefer Virtual Shield because I know they toss it out. So if the government comes knocking on their door, not yours, but their door, all the information is scrubbed. Anyhow, thanks again for tuning in. I'm Lisa Haven, signing out.